What's going on, guys? So today I'm bringing you another Mythic Plus beta testing dungeon. This one is Algathar's Academy, featuring the new and improved Thundering affix. They did a rework on Thundering recently. The first iteration was pretty cringe. This new version is significantly better. I don't think it's bad at all. I'll talk about that a little bit more when we actually get to it. But the talent build I'm running the Ignite Cleave build again. You can feel the nerf that they recently did, but as always, this is beta. I highly encourage everyone to not care about damage meters and to focus more on how does the gameplay feel, what does the gameplay look like, are the talents good. Meters are an adjustment that they will make all the way up until the game goes live. They will constantly be changing and iterating on them, so do not focus on the damage you are doing, focus on the way the game is playing. So you're about to see our first Thundering come out here. So there's Thundering. So it spawns the Swirlies. And so where we used to have the Prideful lines, now you get a little buff over your head. And if you did Anduin, you need to clear your buff the same way you did the Anduin buff. So you have to go find somebody with the opposite buff. And so and if you don't, you get stunned like that. I wasn't used to this yet. This was my first time seeing this dungeon at all. So you can see I have lightning above my head. There's a different one that is also air. So what you need to do is match lightning to air, and that will clear the debuff, and then that way you won't get stunned when it expires. It's a 15% damage increase to have the buff on you, which is pretty much nothing. It doesn't really matter a whole lot. In Pugs, I would say the standard is going to be you clear that shit immediately, and that is what we end up doing during this entire key, is as soon as it goes out, you just go find your buddy and you go clear it. With that, I'm going to leave you guys until we get to the first boss here. We got a little bit of trash, and then I'll talk about the boss.
Please excuse the mess. It has been quite some time since students have been here. I'm just putting together my lesson plan. Answer to me! Long ago, members of the Blue Dragonflight accidentally overloaded an arcane elemental and created a powerful construct named Vexamus that quickly started to wreak havoc.
Okay, so this is the first boss that we fought, Vexamus. It's a pretty straightforward boss. They actually seem to be borrowing a lot of mechanics from Legion dungeons. So very similar to the Mana Worm here, you're going to have orbs that come out. The orbs do damage when you soak them. If the boss absorbs the orbs, he gets a damage amp. It's basically just like Mana Worm. It's basically the same thing. So you really want to make sure that you're blocking well and not letting him absorb orbs. We end up letting him absorb orbs at the end here, and you can see it absolutely demolish me in a second. So this is Thundering again. As you can see, I do it correctly this time, where I have Lightning, I go to Wind, I clear it, and now nothing bad happens from it. So the new version of Thundering is not very intrusive at all. It's just a little bit of a spread. Go find your buddy. There's not much of a benefit to it either. I don't think I didn't notice the 15% damage increase, but we'll see how it actually plays out. Other than that, this boss is pretty much tank and spank to let him eat orbs. I'll see you at the next one.
Vexamus tried its best. By lightning.
Arena. Wait, what are these birds doing here? The elements answer to me!
Okay, so this boss is the bird boss. So there's a little mini game baked into the boss here. So you can see you gotta pick these orbs up and make it into a goal. The goal, when you make 3 orbs, will trigger an effect. This effect on the fire orb here will spawn fire on the ground, does damage if you stand in it, so don't stand in it. What it will also do is affect the boss. So the boss will take 75% increased damage when you have the fire debuff active on it from the firestorm coming out. The other one, the wind orb, will give you extra haste. So you have to choose, do you want extra damage done onto the boss, or do you want extra haste for your group? And so you just have to choose which goal do you make when the orbs come out. This is my first time seeing the boss, so you get to see me kind of hilariously run around with the orb in my hand, like, what do I do with this thing? So that wasn't great, but so the goals, so the orbs spawn, you pick up these little orbs, you run over to the goal of your choosing. So if you're a fire gamer, you run over to the fire one and you make it, and you'll score 1 of 3 goals. If you're a wind gamer, you run over to the wind one and you throw it at the goal. I can understand how they can make it. The final phase of this boss gets a little bit nutty when you start getting fire and wind coming out. You might want to save lust for it. We'll have to see what it ends up looking like on live, but we'll see. So there we just triggered the wind orb, and so now we have a wind buff where we're getting 75% extra haste. I stood in the frontal and got silenced. That is my fault. Like I said, this last phase gets a little bit crazy. So you got the wind pushing you around, you got the fire spawning, you're gonna get thundering coming out, and there's a frontal that you can't stand in. So there's just a lot going on in this final part of the boss. But other than that, so the main goal is play your orbs well, dodge. Don't do what I just did and stand on top of our healer while trying to clear my debuff when the circles come out. And Zug kill boss.
Well, it seems like things are in further disrepair than we anticipated.
These lashers must have grown wild while we were away. Please, if you could, clear them out while we realign the life magics of this place.
The elements answer to me!
just about... Wait! Ichistras, there is too much life magic. What are you doing?
Me?
What
That is too
that
much
thing?
nature. What
This
are you
is your
doing?
fault.
Alright, now we're going to fight a tree.
Absolutely not.
There's not a whole lot to say on this boss. He's actually pretty simple and straightforward. So he's a tree. Trees don't like fire, so it's good they were playing Fire Mage. God, that's a bad joke. But basically what's going to happen is he's going to put circles around you. Those circles, when they detonate, will cause adds to spawn. You need to cleave them down as fast as possible. So there's the circles. The more you rip them up, the better. And now you just cleave them down. They don't do a whole lot. They're just kind of just pad. But Zug, kill the ads, kill the boss. It's pretty straightforward. Not much to say here.
The elements answer to me! By lightning! The elements answer to me!
Okay, so this is the final boss. This boss ended up taking us 3 tries to figure out. There's quite a bit going on here. This boss owns. It's actually a really fun boss, but it's kind of chaos until you know how to do it. So there's gonna be circles that go out on individual players. You can see it on our Evoker right there, right now, in the top right. So when that expires, that's gonna leave crap on the ground. You can see that there's little pools that orb right there that just spawn. So those are going to fill up your room insanely fast once things go wrong. So there's two ways that those orbs spawn. One is that orb going out on you, and then when it detonates, it leaves the orb on the ground that's going to kill you. The other way is when you get hit with this frontal, the frontal will actually leave an orb on the ground. And so the two things combined result in your room getting full insanely quick.
The elements answer to me!
And you see we're getting more orbs on the ground, more orbs on the ground, less and less room to stand in. Yeah, I just got hit with the frontal there, and then left an orb in its place. So you got to be really careful about the frontal, you got to be careful about where you place the orbs, and then you got to be careful of all the other normal mechanics like the suck in and stuff like that. So this boss has a lot going on. It's probably going to take groups a while to get good at it and manage their orbs well, but it's a lot of fun. It's actually a really fun boss, but it's kind of chaos. So I will let you guys just watch the next couple attempts. The second attempt, I tried to be an ethical mage. I saw that we had like 30 seconds or a minute or something like that until Lust came up. So I just stood there and casted Fireball until Lust came up because I didn't want to use Combusted Alpha Lust. But I didn't want to screw my group. I just used my personal Lust and nobody else gets Lust. So I tried to be an ethical mage. I probably should have just ripped the Lust, but it is what it is. So with that, I'm going to let you guys just watch this boss, and then I will see you at the outro.
The elements answer to me! By lightning! elements answer to me! Marked by lightning!
Okay, so you can see we almost wiped it in the third and final time. Fortunately, our tank was a trooper and managed to kill himself. Here's just a little bit of a damage breakdown. So you can see Ignite Cleave was still my biggest damage done, but you can definitely feel the nerf. But like I said, this is beta. Damage tuning is not done for the game. We don't know if we're undertuned or not because we don't know what the tuning of the other classes should look like. For all we know, I did a good amount of what Blizzard wants of damage, or I suck. We just don't know yet. So don't put too much into that yet. Let's wait till the game is finally tuned. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this gameplay. I've gotten a tremendous amount of support lately. I really appreciate it, and have a good one.